Ah, if it isn't my favorite part-time security. Crime has slowed down since you started helping out, which is good for morale. It's a lot of work, as always. People like to say, New Atlantis is the safest city in the settled systems. How hard could your job be? Well, safety doesn't happen by accident. It takes a lot of work and a lot of people. Yep. Something just came in. Scuffle over at the Dawn's Roost. Security on site handled it, but now one of them is saying the other guy stole his wedding ring. Problem is, he left without identifying the perp, so I need you to talk to Royce Elgin at the Dawn's Roost. See if you can fill in the gaps. Thank you, Captain. Always appreciate it when you lend a hand. Let me know when the matter's resolved. According to the patron, the ring is valuable, but if I had to guess, not for sentimental reasons. Normally, when someone loses a valuable keepsake, they're heartbroken. The way this guy was acting, it's almost as if he lost a wallet full of creds. A restaurant over in the residential district caters to a very fancy clientele. It's the kind of place where forks come in different sizes, depending on the food. See you later.
All of our signature dishes are unique to the Roost. You won't find anything like them anywhere else.
A most unfortunate incident, complicated by the fact that both parties were inebriated. While I wasn't privy to the entire argument, Hugo and Octavio have been dining here together for quite some time. So, it was surprising to see them at each other's throats. I assume that would be the slender gentleman, Hugo Fournier. He was the one who excused himself after UC security arrived. I believe he lives in Athena Tower, although he may be checking out soon. But I would start there.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Howdy. Oh, I can't believe that Octavio. That liar, that manipulator, that lying, cheating, foul piece of Dawn Glider dropping. If I had my way, I'd tie him to the back of a ship and jump it right into the nearest star. 5 years we were together, half a decade! And he threw it all away for that waiter. It was supposed to be a romantic dinner, our last before we pledged our lives to each other. But an hour before, I decided to do some cleaning to calm my nerves. I picked up a pair of pants he left on the floor, and out falls a napkin from the Dawn's Roost with a number written on the back. To think he had the audacity to schedule a date with me at the same restaurant? I was livid! Still, I went to the date and held it together just long enough for the waiter to serve us, then I went off! He would say that, but as far as I'm concerned, it's my property. He gifted it to me when he proposed. It's not his to return. I don't care. I'm not giving it to you. Well, I was going to pawn it off. But what if I don't get a good price? And every second with it is excruciating. Ugh, fine. I may be extremely agitated, but I want no part of a UC prison. Here.
After that business with the Terramorph, it's good to get back to small crimes and... Ah, perfect. Did you manage to get the ring back? Excellent. I'm sure the victim will be pleased to know their property has been returned. You acquitted yourself well again. I dare say you might have a knack for police work. Hardly surprising for a captain of the UC Vanguard, but still, impressive nonetheless. Here, take this. It's well deserved. How can I help you, Captain? I do. Thanks to you, the spaceport is up and running again, which is good for commerce, but also for smugglers. We've received a tip that someone has been bringing in contraband into New Atlantis through the spaceport, and we need to investigate. Well, technology-wise, criminals have always been one step ahead. No different now than it was centuries ago. Smugglers often have fancy shielding or scan jammers that allow them to evade the checks. But luckily, we can still use old-fashioned detective work to track these criminals down. Great. First, speak to one of the technicians over by Landing Pad B. Ask them if they've noticed any suspicious activity. Once you've gotten a lead, cross-reference their testimony with ship records over at Aegis. When you're done, report back to me with your findings. Remember that job you did for Agent Plato? I finally had a reason to call in that favor he owes us. I asked him to pull the names and cargo of every potential smuggling ship that docked in the last month. He said he'll have a slate ready for you to examine. See you later, Captain.
Can I help you? Can't say I have. When you work a job like this, you see so many ships. They all sort of blend together. Nope. I just keep my head down and do my job. Speaking of which, I better get back to it. Hi there.
Yeah? It's about time. I've been telling my supervisor about that cargo ship for ages. I'm beginning to think he was ignoring me. It's the way the crew handled the cargo. They were being way too delicate. The manifest said they were carrying potatoes, spuds. I don't know what was in those crates, but it certainly wasn't that. That's the problem. I don't really look at the ship names when I work, just the ID number granted for clearance. think it was UC576B. I do know it's a cargo class transport, if that helps. Gotta go.
Scanned as you enter the city. Please keep moving. Okay, no bounty. You're clear.
I'm so behind.
Keep your eyes open.
One day, I'm gonna leave New Atlantis for good.
The viewer, I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to discuss the details of my division's work. All you really need to know is that we're here to serve and we're the good guys. Our main priority is the safety and security of the citizens and assets of the United Colonies, wherever they may be. We keep an eye on, well, everything. Well, you're certainly entitled to that opinion, and there are plenty of others who share it. We'll be looking out for you just the same. That I do, Captain. Sergeant Yumi said you'd be coming to pick it up. You've got good timing, too. I actually have a friend on a classified star station who sent me this list of potential smugglers the other day. Here you are. Given I owe you for the last job, I hope it serves some use. It's been a pleasure.
How's the investigation going? No major... Is that right? Do you know the name by any chance? Of course. I'll be here.
This is Vanguard Moira. Sorry if I had to reclaim some UC property, but this whole star yard is overrun. I've patched up my ship, and I'm heading to Neptune. Going to put in an...
Found those smugglers yet? Is that right? Ah, that's Captain Dayu's ship. Are you sure about that? I thought she dealt mostly in exports. Okay, if you're sure, then I'll run this up the chain of command. It might take a few cycles to get a warrant, given that we don't have a lot of evidence. But next time they're in New Atlantis, we'll be sure to give their ship a thorough check. I'll keep you updated on the situation, but for now, your work is done. Here. Starting to run out of... Good timing. We just got word of a disturbance over by the Knot in the Embassy District. A vandal, it seems. I've already dispatched an officer to the site, but they probably could use some support. Talk to the officer, get an update, and interview any witnesses involved. Thank you. Normally I wouldn't waste your time with this, Captain, but a functionary over at MAST reported the crime. He'll be thrilled to know that a captain of the Vanguard is on the case. That would be Officer Noita Markkinen. She's one of the recruits that joined up shortly after you started. A lot of newer officers look up to you. I bet she'll get a kick out of working this case with you. Never. This isn't Neon. I'm sure the graffiti there is part of the normal decor. But when something like that happens here, it tends to stick out. Functionary Gershon. Nice guy. Very polite, as diplomats tend to be. But lately, he's also taken an interest in reporting petty crime, which means I get a call every time someone puts the wrong trash in the recycle bin. Still, his diligence comes in handy in times like this. He practically called in the crime before it even happened. Let me know if you have any questions.
Be ready for anything.
Nothing worse than having two witnesses with conflicting stories. And you're certain that's what you saw?
Oh, yeah. He was wearing a flannel shirt underneath a trucker jacket.
That doesn't match the description from a functionary. And you said he was running away from the tram?
That's right. Oh, and he was carrying a book, A Tale of Two Cities.
Okay, just hold that thought one moment, sir. I need to speak with the captain.
Sure. There's a reward for this, right? Information leading to the capture?
Sir, just give me a moment with the captain, please. Thanks for taking this case, Captain. I realize your time is limited. Thanks, Captain. To be honest, I'm a little starstruck. I'll do my best to keep things professional. This was supposed to be a simple case. We got an attempted vandalism, a knocked-over bin, and a witness who called in to ID the suspect. We were about to head down to the well to apprehend the guy when this new witness comes forward with additional info. Just one problem. His story conflicts with the functionaries. Yeah, and then apparently ran off and knocked over a recycling bin. The perp made a bigger mess running away than he did with the spray paint. The opposite of what the functionary said. He claims the vandal didn't escape on the Nat, but ran up the stairs out of the station. Feel free to chat with him yourself. Yes, ma'am. I was the one who took the call and reported it to Sergeant Yumi. Normally, we don't give this much weight to tipsters, but when it's a masked official, we tend to take them at their word. Well, we got two witnesses with conflicting stories, so I'd like to go interview Functionary Gershon in person. Their office is at MAST, in the Interstellar Affairs Department. Affirmative. And as the higher-ranking officer, I'll let you take the lead, Captain.
Ah, Captain. Can I just say, it's a pleasure to meet the hero who stopped the Terramorph invasion. And Officer Markkanen, was it? I see you're here as well. Is there something the matter?
We just need to go over your testimony again.
I apologize, but I can't right now. I have an important meeting I need to attend. But I'd be happy to stop by UC Security later and speak with your sergeant. Captain, I would be happy to do so later, but now is a bad time. So unless you're arresting me, I must decline. Besides, I'm not the most eloquent of functionaries. I prefer the written word, which you're more than welcome to read. I encourage the both of you to check the information on my personal computer. I have written a detailed description of the vandal, one Tahir Vala, a known criminal who resides in the well. It should have everything you need to apprehend the thief. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Excuse me.
Well, Captain, what do you think? Is what the functionary said true? Is this kid from the well our vandal? I trust your instincts, Captain. Gershon said he hangs out at K's, right? Let's go down to the well and arrest this perp.
Everyone's welcome, so long as you keep your hands to yourself. Understand? No causing trouble in here.
Pain is killing me. Hey, long time no see. Still doing work for the House of Enlightenment? You pigs are all the same. Get a taste of power, and now you think you're better than everyone else.
All right, Vala, that's enough. We're bringing you in on a UC 594, vandalizing.
Is this some kind of joke? What the hell is she talking about? What? I haven't been topside in ages.
This isn't a request, Vala. Either you come with us peacefully, or we do it by force. Your choice.
Yeah, that's what you pigs
No shortage
always
of
say.
hungry mouths to feed
Your
around here.
choice. As if I've got one when you got a gun pointed at my face.
Anything else?
I take it that means you're coming peacefully. Good. Don't worry, Captain. I can take it from here. Feel free to report back to Sergeant Yumi and let him know the Vandal's been arrested. Roger that, Captain. And can I just say, it was an honor to work with you. Best of luck.
Always a pleasure.
Ah, Captain. Functionary Gershon was just complimenting you on your police work.
I just wanted to make sure the captain was receiving their just due for the exemplary work they're doing.
Speaking of which, did you manage to catch the pup? Kid from the well, right? It's a tough situation. A lot of people in the well are just trying to find a way to lash out.
You shouldn't make excuses for them, Sergeant. They're loathsome criminals, every last one.
The functionary has very strong feelings about the well. But we still follow the rule of law here. Even this vandal will be given a fair trial. Of course, given the captain's record, I would venture this case is all but closed. Sadly, it looks like it's going to be the last case you work. With all the new recruits as of late, our staffing problems are no longer an issue. Which means we've exhausted our need for a part-time security officer. Likewise, Captain. We have your position filled, but not your shoes. On behalf of the entire UC Security Department, I wish you the best of luck with the Vanguard and your future missions. And if you ever need to talk or reminisce about the beat, I'll be here.
While you waste time arresting me, the criminals in the well continue to multiply and fester.